Thank you very much for joining Let's HIBA program. This is Happy Life program, which has been started in 2021, and now the sessions are going on, and this is the third program in 2025. So I welcome Professor Dr. Atta Rahman, the great scientist of the world in Pakistan. He's here in our special session today. So I welcome him to join this program. So just I will request Summaiya Aftab to give his introduction. Thank you very much.
I would like to introduce Dr. Atta Rahman, our special guest for today's meeting. He has PhD in organic chemistry from King's College, University of Cambridge, 1968, and SCD, University of Cambridge has in 15 international publications in several fields of organic chemistry. He was elected as Fellow Prestigious of Royal Society London 2006 and won the UNESCO Science Prize 1999. He is the most decorated scientist of Pakistan, having won 4 civil awards, including Nishan-e-Imtiaz, the highest civil award of Pakistan. He has also been conferred the highest awards of Austria in 2007, Gross Golden Ambande. In China, International Science of Technology Corporation Award by President Xi Jinping 2020. Institutions have been established in his honor in China. Academician Professor Atta Rahman, One Belt in One Road PCM Research Center, Malaysia, Atta Rahman Institute on Natural Products Discovery, and Pakistan ASAP in NUST, Islamabad. He was Federal Minister of Science and Technology from 2000 to 2002 and founding chairman of Higher Education Commission. He was twice president of Pakistan Academy of Science and is presently president of Network of Academics of Science of Islamic Countries and Professor Emeritus at Karachi University. We welcome Professor Dr. Atta Rahman in our today's Happy Life program. Let's talk HIBA. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Summaiya, for giving the introduction of Professor Dr. Atta Rahman, the great scientist. I would request all the attendees to keep their mics closed so the recording is in progress. Kindly don't disturb. So thank you very much, Summaiya. I welcome Professor Dr. Atta Rahman to give his presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Can you remove this slide, please, from the screen, so that I can then start showing my own slides also?
Thank you very much. Professor Dr. Atta Rahman is here. Thank you very much.
Well, firstly, I'm very grateful for this invitation and I'm looking forward to interacting with you. So I'll be talking for about 40 minutes and then we can have 15 or 20 minutes question and answer session. So let me just share my slides. And let's see if I've got the right ones. Right. Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay.
Continue, yeah.
So I'll be talking to you about basically several different areas. I will start with what is happening in the world around us, how countries which are investing in quality education, in science, in technology and innovation are marching forward rapidly, leaving others behind. What we have tried to do in Pakistan in the last 20 years and some good developments as well as some challenges. I will also be giving you a little bit of a glimpse of some of the exciting frontiers of science today and how they are bringing in highly disruptive innovations, which are changing the face of the landscape of industry and businesses through these innovations. And in the end, I'll talk to you a little bit about some of the new universities that I'm presently establishing in Pakistan, focused in the field of engineering sciences and focusing also on promoting entrepreneurship. So we live in a world where knowledge has now become the key driver for socio-economic development. And countries which have realized that their real wealth lies in their children and are investing in quality education and science are marching forward. Whether it's large countries like China or small countries like Singapore, the story is the same. It's now knowledge driving economies. The role of natural resources has been diminishing with time, and the role of knowledge has been increasing. So that's why you find that the world's top companies now are largely technology companies. So talking of China, I'll just go to that. This is a McKinsey Global Report, which was published a couple of years ago, and that shows that there'll be a huge impact, some $33 trillion impact of some of the new and emerging technologies, and especially areas like advanced genomics, agriculture, Internet of Things, energy storage systems, and other such areas. And so that's the challenge for the future. So I mentioned China. This slide talks about what China did and what has happened. So if you look at the top, in 1978, China started sending a large number of students abroad. And it started with only less than 1,000 students, but the number has grown over the years. And last year, China sent some 600,000 students for PhD studies and postdoctoral studies abroad, and about 500,000. This is the number of students returning after completing their studies. So last year, some 600,000 students were sent, about 500,000 students returned. And these, after completing their doctorates, they are being clustered in centers of excellence, and they're driving the Chinese economy forward, with the result that China today has about 300% more international patents than the United States of America. And China has become a leader in many, many fields, especially focused in engineering sciences. Turning to a smaller country like Singapore, population is about 1/4 of Karachi, and about 5 million or 5.5 million. It has virtually no natural resources, but last year its exports were about $390 billion. Pakistan's exports are about $30 or $35 billion. Singapore exports are more than 10 times higher. The reason their focus has been on quality education, and then focusing on the ability to manufacture and export high technology goods. That is where the money is, high technology, high value-added items. Pakistan's tragedy has been the lack of vision of our leaders. So our major exports are low value-added textiles, and we are not present in any of the high value-added sectors, such as engineering goods or pharmaceuticals or biotechnology products or other such items. And that is what needs to change. This graph shows how the Singapore has, the per capita GDP of Singapore has changed. Singapore is the blue line, United Kingdom is the red line, and the world average is the green line at the bottom. So as you see, the blue line crossed and the Singapore per capita GDP overtook the United Kingdom in the mid-1990s, and now is well ahead of most European countries. And what some countries are doing are countries like Korea or Austria. Korea has given the status of a deputy prime minister to its minister of education, so that they have the political clout to get funding. And Korea is spending about 5.6% of its GDP on R&D. If you look at the Islamic world, we hardly spend even 0.5% of our GDP on R&D. And that is so first of all, our R&Ds are small, our budgets are smaller, and we are spending a much smaller fraction of our GDP on research and development, with the result that every passing day, the gap widens. Even rich countries like Saudi Arabia are spending less than 0.5% of their GDP on R&D. And that is, again, a lack of vision. Tall claims are made but in reality, very little is done. And if you look at, compare, just take one good university. I'm associated with the University of Cambridge. I'm an honorary life fellow at King's College. Just Cambridge alone has produced 125 Nobel Prize winners. Just one college of Cambridge University, Trinity, has produced 34 Nobel Prize winners. Whereas if you look at the Islamic world, not a single Nobel Prize has been given in science or medicine to any scientist for work done within the Islamic world. We have had Salam and Ahmad and one or two others, but these are all people who had lived abroad and contributed in foreign countries. But if you look at within the Islamic country, we are still living in the darkness of ignorance and superstition. Turning to the United States, if you look at MIT, for instance, the graduates and faculty of MIT have founded 25,000 companies which employ over 3 million people and have annual sales of over $2,000 billion, $2 trillion. And collectively, these would be equivalent to the 11th largest economy of the world. So that's the impact that one good institution can make if it is focusing on quality education, on technology, and on innovation. So in Pakistan, turning to Pakistan, when I was I was appointed as the Federal Minister for Science back in the year 2000. I joined the cabinet a little late because I was not very keen to become a minister because of the lack of commitment of the leadership in Pakistan towards science. So President Musharraf came into power in October 1999. I joined the cabinet in March 2000, about 5 months or 6 months later. And the reason was that I was approached a number of times, but I was uncomfortable in becoming the minister of science in a country where science has the lowest priority. So I negotiated for the first 5-6 months before taking over. And it is only when President Musharraf and Shaukat Aziz, who was the finance minister at the time, excuse me, when they agreed to provide the necessary finances to uplift higher education and science, did I actually take over. And the result was that we ended up with a 6,000% increase in the development budget of science and technology during my tenure as the Minister for Science, and later a 3,500% increase in the development budget of higher education when I was the chairman of the HEC. And we focused on the 3 key challenges. Firstly, the quality of education at all levels, of course, but I was only responsible for higher education, access to university education and higher education. At that time, we had only about 2.6% of the relevant population ages between 17 to 23, which had access to higher education. By the time I left, it had grown to about 8%. Now it's still about 12%, which is still very low, but as compared to other advanced countries where it is 30 or 35%, but still there was progress. And of course, relevance. What are we teaching them? What are the international demands? How good are they? So how relevant is the education that we are providing them? This is a slide which I think will come as a surprise to most of you, because the measures that I took 20 years ago have completely transformed the landscape of higher education in Pakistan. And this is published by SciMago just last year, which has given the rankings of Pakistani research over the years. So if you look at the top here is the year 2023, at the bottom is the 2000. And if you look at the rankings, for instance, if you look at the last column in economics, Pakistan was number 96 in the world, has risen dramatically to number 17 in the world in terms of quality research output in international journals. In chemical engineering, we have risen from 63 in the world to 20 in the world. In the field of biochemistry and microbiology, we have risen from 62 in the world back in 2000, now to 21. In physics, from 59 in the world to 23. And in agriculture, from 48 in the world to 15 in the world. So something amazing, and overall from 54 in the world to 26 in the world. So no country has shown such dramatic progress in a short period of 2 decades that Pakistan has made. And this is generally not realized that something really exciting has happened in the country. In spite of many weaknesses and difficulties and ups and downs in the HEC, even now HEC has serious problems. But in spite of that, the momentum that we started 20 years ago has to a great extent continued and continues till today. So we were publishing only about 700 papers back in the year 2000 in impact factor journals. Now we are publishing about 40,000 papers now. So from 700 per year, we have risen to 40,000. And I'm talking about publications in quality impact factor journals. And that is the reflection of that you see in the Summaiya, which is the world's leading international ranking agency, which is shown. In a comparison with India, per capita, per 10 million population, we back in the year 2000, on the extreme left is the year 2000, we had only 44 publications as compared to per 10 million population as compared to 172. So we were 400% behind India. And obviously India had been investing in education and science with all its IITs, etc., back from the Nehru days. And then after the policies that we brought in, this started changing. The green is Pakistan, the red is India. So as you see, by the year 2017, according to Google Scholar, we are now ahead of India by about 10% or 15% in terms of per capita. In actual numbers, we are about 6.5 times behind India. But in terms of per capita research output, we were 400% behind, but we have forged ahead. And the Scopus data, this is Google Scholar, but Scopus data is very similar. We are now equal or slightly ahead of India according to the Scopus data also, which is no small achievement. Unfortunately, this huge rise in research output has not had an economic impact, because for that you need to have a complete ecosystem in place. And that has been missing in Pakistan, largely from the lack of vision of our leadership, the necessity to link university research to industry, the need to support private companies so that they can take up that research and move forward through tax incentives, through strengthening the platforms of industry, through establishment, through existence of venture capital funds, angel investors, and other measures like the presence of technology parks to promote university interactions. And so the suitable government policies to create this innovation and ecosystem have failed. And I'm constantly writing about what we need to do to establish such linkages. So while we have a critical mass of high quality people in Pakistan, but we must now change gears and make sure that their research now starts having an impact on the process of socio-economic development, on the enhancement of our exports and our industry. So what did we do that had this at least impact on the research side? Well, firstly, I focused universities are not about beautiful buildings. They are about beautiful minds. So it's the quality of the faculty which really determines the quality of any good university. And so there's no shortage of creative talent. पाकिस्तानी बच्चों को देखें तो दुनिया के ज़हीन तरीन बच्चों में हैं, O levels, A levels में, we are performing and we are amongst the top in the world as compared to Australia or UK or other countries. But in the university level, we need to identify such bright young people. We need to send them to top universities through scholarships. And so most of the money of HEC that was given to us was invested in scholarships. We sent about 11,000 students abroad. Har bacche par we were spending about 2 or 3 crores of rupees for scholarships for PhD and postdoctoral and split PhD programs, sandwich PhD programs. But that was only half the story. They go abroad, but a large number of them don't come back. So I focused then on creating the enabling environment so that they would come back. So what did we do? We brought in a new type of salary structure, the 10-year track system, in which the salaries of a professor became about 4 to 5 times the salaries of a federal minister in the government, 4 to 5 times the salaries. But these were contractual positions with 6 international evaluations, 2 at assistant professor level, 2 at associate, and 2 at full professor level, because paying weak people high salaries would have been detrimental. That would have achieved nothing. So if you are good, then you should be able to stand the scrutiny of international peer review. So if you fail in any of one of these evaluations, you are out of the system. So this new tenure track system was brought in, and about 25 or 30% of the faculty of the universities opted for this new system. Every student who went abroad was given an opportunity of a $100,000 grant, for which he or she could apply a year before coming back, so that even if they came back to a weak university, they would have substantial research funding with them. We established a digital library, which provided free access to 65,000 textbooks and 25,000 international journals. And we connected all the universities with high-speed internet access through the PERN project, Pakistan Educational Research Network. A novel scheme was introduced because you cannot have sophisticated instruments everywhere. So we said any student can send any researcher can send his samples to any university of his choice and any institution of his choice and within the country, and the analysis would be done free of charge within 72 hours. HEC, however, would make a payment for the analysis to the institute. So it was a win-win. Institution providing the analysis would have some money for spare parts, whereas the scientists will not have the excuse that we cannot do this because we don't have that. So excellent salaries, good research funding, excellent library, and free access to an analytical instrumentation, and of course very importantly jobs on arrival. क्योंकि जब वापस आते थे PhD के बाद तो 10-12 महीने, 10-12 months they were hunting for jobs. Jobs were not easy to find. They were applying, and it was a very frustrating period. So we said the day you land, you will get an assistant professor salary. HEC will be paying your salary, and we were doing a matchmaking a year in advance so that they will then be absorbed by an appropriate university according to their interests. So these kind of measures resulted in a huge change, which I just showed you in the slides earlier. And there were numerous articles written about what had happened. Professor Michael Rohde, who was the chairman of the United Nations Commission on Science, Technology and Development, wrote an article. When I left HEC, I resigned in protest in 2008, when the new government that came in at the time stopped the scholarships, and I resigned in protest. I still had 2 years to go. So he wrote at that time in 2008 that no country in the world had shown such spectacular positive developments as had happened in Pakistan during the previous 6 years. And 10 years later, Thomson Reuters came out with an article entitled "Another Brick in the Wall," BRIC, B-R-I-C, Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and compared Pakistan with the BRIC countries and concluded that Pakistan had the highest percentage of highly cited papers as compared to the BRIC countries, which was no small achievement. There were numerous articles written. There were comprehensive reports by the World Bank, by USAID, and by the British Council. And Nature, the world's leading science journal, wrote a number of articles, editorials. One was The Paradox of Pakistan, where it said that we had been neglected education. Now something dramatically good had started happening, and we now need to continue this. And there was another article which was headed after Musharraf. This was in 2008 when President Musharraf had left, and it said, "Don't go back to the Stone Age." And these were the words used by Nature, not by me that I'm talking about. Nature said that, "Don't go back to the Stone Age which existed before the HEC was formed. You must continue these policies for the future." Unfortunately, they were not continued, and problems have been there for the last 10-15 years. And on the 22nd September 2010, which happened to be my birthday actually, Nature wrote an editorial, and I was humbled and somewhat amused that they called me a force of nature for bringing all these changes about in a country where science and education had always received the lowest priority. Lower education is even worse at the moment. You cannot have progress in a country only through investment in higher education. It has to be a comprehensive report. The foundations are made at the school level and then colleges, and they are still a disaster. So we must have a holistic approach to quality education. Just investing in higher education is not sufficient. This is a book which has been published a couple of years ago by a top US scientist, Professor Fred Hayward, and chapter 5 of this is devoted to Pakistan and talks in detail about these developments that I've just mentioned. This was published by Palgrave Macmillan, and you will find it on the internet. So this is something that you may want to acquire, or if you don't find it, I will be happy to send you the relevant chapter by email. You can get my email address from the organizers of this symposium. Now let me turn to some of the exciting developments I talked about in the beginning and tell you how disruptive innovations are transforming industries, transforming the face of industry, and just show you a few areas. For instance, if you look at solar cells convert only light into electricity. Heat is actually bad for them, that their efficiency goes down if it's hot weather. But now new type of solar cells have been developed. These are the photon-enhanced thermionic emission peat solar cells, which convert both light and heat into electricity. And they have the efficiency of these are above 50%. So this is going to make a huge change in the future once they become available commercially on a large scale. Similarly, waste paper is just thrown away, or grass. It contains cellulose. So cellulose has now been converted by a microorganism into isobutanol, and isobutanol can be used 100% as a car fuel. Ethanol can also be used as a car fuel, but only up to 30%. Brazil they do use it, but then if you go beyond 30%, you need to change the engine. But isobutanol can be used 100% as a car fuel. So this is again a very interesting development. And tomorrow you may be driving a car from which the fuel comes from old newspapers. Similarly, fusion reactions. सूरज तवानाई अपनी कैसे पैदा करता है? Through fusion of smaller atoms to give you bigger atoms. In our sun, we have hydrogen fusing to give you helium. In the bigger stars, you have bigger fusion reactions taking place, and all the elements are being born there. Helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, gold, silver, nickel, tungsten, everything is born within the stars, and then they burst, and then ultimately these end up in our planet. So fusion creates this energy. So they are trying to reproduce that energy, and there are a number of projects underway in France and USA and other places. And now there have been some exciting developments during the last 12 months at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratories, for instance. They have had a net energy gain, which means कि energy कितनी डाल रहे हैं और energy कितनी निकल रही है. So they, for the first time in the history of these tokamak reactors, there has been a net energy gain, and there's rapid progress now being made in the fusion technologies. Turning now to genomics, again, very exciting developments. Just to give you an example, we get mangoes only in the summer, not in the winter. Why? Because there's a biological clock built into every plant, which tells it when to flower, when to fruit. Now scientists have learned what those genes are, and they can turn them on and off. And now we are coming into an era when you'll be able to get fruits and vegetables around the year. Similarly, some scientists have taken the genes from the firefly. जुगनू के अंदर जो genes होते हैं जिसकी वजह से वो चमकते हैं, they put them into flowers, and you have orchids which glow just like firefly. जुगनू की तरह फूल चमकते हैं. इसी तरह ये this CRISPR, you would have heard about it. This is a very exciting technique for gene editing, and we had the 2020 Nobel Prizes were given to Doudna and Charpentier for their work on development of this. It's a kind of a molecular scissors, and already FDA has approved the first CRISPR treatment for sickle cell disease, sickle cell. So there are a number of such exciting developments taking place through gene editing technologies. And Stanford scientists just last year reported in Nature that they have developed special ways to have neuronal stem cells activated. These can result in activating the brain cells and slows down the aging process. A lot of work is going on aging, and a number of compounds which have been discovered, which not only slow down the process of aging, but actually reverse it. Resveratrol, nicotinamide, adenine dinucleotide, metformin, curcumin. So it's, and there are others. So it's thought that children being born today will have ages of 100 years plus. I've set up a Center for Genomics Research. This is within Karachi University. जो मेरा इदारा है HEJ Research Institute of Chemistry. It's part of a larger complex now. It's called the International Center for Chemical and Biological Sciences. So I've set up this institute in my father's name through my personal savings. It's called the Jamilur Rahman Center for Genomics Research. And this has state-of-the-art gene sequencing and ये CRISPR and इस तरह की technologies यहाँ भी इस्तेमाल की जा रही हैं. One of the areas which has fascinated me is our own brain. About 80 billion neurons, 80 अरब neurons हैं आपके दिमाग के अंदर, और वो हर neuron जो है वो 10,000 दूसरे neuron से गुफ्तगू कर रहा है. So each neuron is talking to some 10,000 other neurons. So some 80 trillion connections, synaptic connections. So arguably the most complex object of our universe is our own brain. And so understanding how we learn, we know a lot about where thoughts are stored, largely in the hypothalamus. But at the molecular level, what is going on? It is not understood. For the last 2 decades, that's an area which has fascinated me, and we have about 25 US patents on this, in which we proposed about 20 years ago. जो glycoproteins होती हैं brain के अंदर, they are actually a protein backbone with various sugars, glucose, arabinose, fructose, xylose, tacone, and they have lots of hydroxyl groups. So it's like a molecular fur. एक मखमल है जो कुदरत ने बना रखी है आपके दिमाग के अंदर, ये hydroxyl groups जो हैं, and they are prone to hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding is fundamental in nature. Water would not be water. It would be exist as vapor if there was no hydrogen bonding. DNA would not be double helix were it not for a hydrogen bonding. So what we proposed was, okay, when you are learning something, hydrogen bonding is taking place within the hydroxyl groups. So if I look at my watch, for instance, immediately hydrogen bonds, and these patterns are formed through freezing of the movement of glycoproteins through hydrogen bonding. And these patterns are the way in which thoughts are stored, and the relationship of these patterns with each other results in logical processes. So this is some of the work that we have done. Those who are interested, I'll be happy to share my research article as well as reviews on this work. But recently, just a couple of years ago, papers have come out for the first time showing that indeed the folding of glycoproteins through hydrogen bonding, as was proposed by me a long time ago, is critical to synaptic plasticity. This was published in Science Advances. And there is growing evidence that what we had proposed may actually be correct. So there are various reviews I've written. I'll be happy to share them with you. That took us into the neurodegenerative diseases such as epilepsy. This gentleman is wearing a necklace of a plant, Delphinium denudatum, a plant hota hai uske tubers. And these relieve epileptic fits. Excuse me. So this led us to investigate this. We have in our institute, we can excite individual neurons with weak currents of 10 to the minus 12th of an ampere. And using this technology, we can see the flow of ion currents, calcium and other ions. And using this, we isolated the active principles. And they are very, very effective, and they are now into phase 2 clinical trials. The brain science has also attracted Elon Musk, and he's formed a company called Neuralink, which is the first FDA approval for clinical trial using a chip inside the brain to tackle some of these diseases was given a couple of years ago in May 2023. And last year, FDA also approved a chip for to remove for a brain chip for blind people. It's called Blind Sight. Again, it's the same company, and the eyesight can be restored using such chips, even if the visual, even if both the optic nerves are, even if the optic nerves are damaged and both eyes are damaged, but as long as the visual cortex is intact. There are also other developments. For instance, this lady is blind, but she has a little camera on her glasses, which takes in the optical signals, and she has a lollipop-like device in her hands with 400 sensors. The moment she puts it on her tongue, the image is passed through the nerves of her tongue to the brain, restoring partial eyesight. So this is a company called YCAB in Wisconsin, which has developed this. Artificial intelligence has now come in, and there's a lot of exciting work going on in artificial intelligence. IBM introduced IBM Watson about 10 years ago, and to whom legal cases or medical cases can be referred, and that is helping many people. Recently, last year, the Nobel Prizes were given for the development of an artificial intelligence, a method for predicting protein structures. And this is AlphaFold 2 and AlphaFold 3, and these are being now used for new drug development. And the first new type of antibiotic has recently been developed based on these approaches. So this combined with quantum computing, which is also coming up very fast on the horizon, will change civilization as we know it. Quantum computing hardware, artificial intelligence software, when the two meet, a huge change is going to take place in the way we live, and every aspect of civilization will be affected. Not too long ago, just a few months ago, Google announced the quantum chip Willow, which takes only 5 minutes to solve a problem, which would take more than 25 billion years to accomplish by the fastest supercomputer. The age of our universe, as you know, is only about 13.8 billion years, so longer than the age of the universe. So the fastest supercomputer है, वो जितने 25 अरब साल ले सकता है, वो ये 5 मिनट में करता है, ये जो Willow chip है. And Chinese also are now developing such quantum computers very fast. Materials and science की तरफ चले, तो आपको again you find electronic textiles which can change their shape and designs very quickly. Ebb textiles which change their color, so you may go to a dinner wearing a maroon dress and come back wearing a green dress because the color would have changed over the next 2 hours. Nanomaterials have been developed which are now being used for all sorts of applications in electronics, intelligent materials, self-healing materials, graphene, which is 200 times stronger than steel. And these, ये सब जो मैं कह रहा हूँ, these are having an impact of trillions of dollars on nations and companies which are investing in them. So knowledge, as I said, is now the key driver, and such innovations are transforming businesses the world over. Metamaterials can make objects disappear because they bend light. So Harry Potter's disappearing cloak is now a reality. And this is, you see this, these for cloaking submarines and tanks and aeroplanes. 3D printing has been being used to print jet engines. This is jet engine printed in Australia. Parts of human kidneys are being printed using living human cells to print parts of human kidneys and other organs. And in the last 5 minutes that I have, I will just conclude now. Some new universities that I'm establishing. This is the Pakistan Austrian University, which I've established in Haripur Hazara, about 1 hour's drive from Islamabad, which is an entrepreneurial university. It is very different from normal universities. It has a Fachhochschule, as they call it in German, which is bachelor's and master's, but in applied engineering, so that the students are trained to solve industrial problems. It also has a full-fledged technical university with PhD programs, and it has got 4 Austrian universities. There is one from UK, there's one from Germany, and there are 7 from China. So 13 foreign universities I managed to convince, and each department is being handed over to one foreign university to help develop the students, train the faculty, and control the quality and exams, etc. So dual degrees will ultimately be given in these universities. And the centerpiece of this is a technology park for new product and process development. इसी तरह की सियालकोट में एक यूनिवर्सिटी हम बना रहे हैं, and that is under construction in a place called Summaiya. This is some of the pictures of my own institute in Karachi University. It is on about 100 acres of land with about 500 students doing PhD. And we have won large grants internationally, about $23 million from Japan, 5.7 million Deutschmarks from Germany. It was actually $8 million from USA altogether, and UK, etc. And we have had 32 civil awards given to our faculty. There are 2 fellows of Royal Society London produced from our institute, 1 UNESCO Science Prize and 1 Nishan-e-Imtiyaz, 4 Hilal-e-Imtiyaz, 13 Sitara-e-Imtiyaz, 14 Pride of Performance. एक institute के अंदर से 32 civil awards मिल चुके हैं, and numerous doctorate degrees, honorary doctorate degrees from foreign universities. We have about 20 different types of mass spectrometers and 13 superconducting nuclear magnetic resonance spectrometers. ये 800 मेगाहर्ट्ज का है, इसी तरह के 600, 500, 400. These work at minus 269 degrees centigrade because they use liquid helium. And for this is just 4 degrees above the absolute zero. So we also have the only helium liquefaction plant in Pakistan. So I would like to end here and just conclude by saying that there is a lot that needs to be done. But in order to move forward, what we need is to have an honest, visionary, technocrat government which understands that the real wealth of Pakistan lies in its children, which invests in quality education, in science, in technology, and in innovation. And then the sky is the limit. This can be done, but we need, there has to be a deep political change for us to start progressing. I will just stop here and I will be happy to try and answer any questions. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आप सबका. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Professor Atta Rahman was giving the presentation, and I will ask Summaiya to take over.
Thank you, sir, for your efforts. It was great to know about all the things. Now I would like to hand over it to Engineer Salman Khan from UAE for the Q&A session. Please move forward with the presentation. Sir Salman Khan, are you here?
Mr. Qazi Aamir is here, Dr. Amina Murad, the panelist here. So let me start with the Qazi Aamir. Mr. Qazi Aamir is here. He is a financial person, analyst in the UAE, HIBA UAE. So I will request to start the Q&A session, please. After that, we'll invite any attendees also, like Professor Dr. Javed Avzal from Lahore is here. So we would request also after that, if any questions, so we will allow some attendees also to ask the question. So can you unshare your presentation so we can see the full faces? Okay, thank you, sir.
I have unshared my presentation. Is it still being shared?
No, it's okay now. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, who will going to start? Any question, please? Just we have a short of time. So please don't hold the mic. Anybody is welcome to ask a question based on the topic. What great topic Professor Dr. Atta has.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir.
Walaikum
Walaikum
assalam.
Assalam. Professor Javed Afzal is from Lahore, Government Islamic Graduate College, Civil Lines, Lahore. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
डॉक्टर अताउर रहमान साहब, अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम भाई.
सर आज पहली दफा आपके साथ में हम कलाम हो रहा हूँ. आप तो बहुत बड़ी शख्सियत है माशाल्लाह, और हम तो आपको बहुत ऊपर देखते हैं, इतना कि वो टोपी हमारी गिर जाती है नीचे ना. तो,
I'm
तो
just a
आज
humble
आपकी
scientist. जी जी शुक्रिया.
नहीं, आपने बहुत काम किया माशाल्लाह, बहुत काम किया आपने माशाल्लाह. आपका मेरा वैसे भी सब्जेक्ट जो है वो बायोमेडिकल इंजीनियरिंग है, तो लेकिन आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन भी माशाल्लाह बहुत अच्छी थी आपकी तरह.
शुक्रिया.
इंशाल्लाह फिर किसी वक्त मिल बैठेंगे तो फिर बात होगी ज्यादा. अभी यहाँ पर तो बस इतनी सी बात हो सकती है
अच्छा शुक्रिया बहुत बहुत आपका भाई.
हमारी.
थैंक यू.
जी, मैं अभी हम 27 फरवरी को अपने कॉलेज में कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे हैं, 27 फरवरी को.
ओके.
तो उसके अंदर भी मैं चाहूंगा कि आप इसी प्लेटफॉर्म से ना शिरकत करें, क्योंकि हिबा सब लोग जो है ना ये हमारे नॉलेज पार्टनर है उसके अंदर.
श्योर आई विल बी हैप्पी टू. आप मुझे लिख दीजिएगा.
जी जरूर सर.
तो आई विल बी हैप्पी टू पार्टिसिपेट. और ये ईमेल आपको यहाँ से मिल जाएगा हिबा से.
जी ठीक है सर. थैंक यू सर, बहुत शुक्रिया सर.
डॉक्टर शाहिदा कुछ पूछना चाह रही हैं. डॉक्टर साहिबा प्लीज.
जी
आप
जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम डॉक्टर साहब.
जी, डॉक्टर
आपको तो
कैसे
हमने
मिजाज हैं?
जी
कराची।
आपको तो हमने बिल्कुल, मैं दोबारा यही कहूंगी, एक रिक्वेस्ट के आप, हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी आपसे बहुत करीब है, मेट्रोपॉलिटन यूनिवर्सिटी कराची, नियर एट सफूरा गोट, वेरी नियर टू यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ कराची. तो मेरी भी बड़ी ख्वाहिश है कि हमारे स्टूडेंट भी आपसे कुछ मुस्तफीज हो सकें, आप कभी तशरीफ लाएं. if it could be an invitation maybe through HIBA, if you allow me to contact you directly. हम
Sure.
पुराने
नहीं, आप
colleague
डायरेक्टली
रहे हैं.
कांटेक्ट करें मुझे. जस्ट
जी
कांटेक्ट मी
जी,
डायरेक्टली एंड आई विल बी हैप्पी टू कम ओवर एंड गिव अ टॉक इंशाल्लाह वन डे.
थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक यू.
वेलकम वेलकम.
Yeah. So any questions, please? We have short of time, so please relevant to the topic. The great topic he has given here, relevant to the higher education.
फरवा आसिफ साहिबा हैं फ्रॉम कायदे आजम यूनिवर्सिटी. प्लीज आस्क. गो अहेड फरवा साहिबा. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही. आप अनम्यूट करें पहले फरवा साहिबा.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर.
वालेकुम सलाम.
सर फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वेरी थैंक यू. इट इज़ अ ग्रेट ऑनर कि मतलब मैं डॉक्टर शाज़िया की स्टूडेंट हूँ, उनसे हमेशा आपकी बहुत तारीफें सुनी है. तो आई ऑलवेज विश कि मैं आपसे को देख सकूँ, आपकी टॉक सुन सकूँ. तो ये रैंडम मुझे लिंक मिल गया था, तो आई एम ऑनर्ड. एंड सर दूसरा मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि हम कायदे-ए-आज़म से मेरा एमफिल है, तो हमने कुछ कंपाउंड सिंथेसाइज किए हैं, तो उनकी एक्टिविटीज़ का कुछ इशू है, तो क्या हम HEG से अपने कंपाउंड्स की एक्टिविटीज़ करवा सकते हैं?
जी बिल्कुल. we can have a collaboration and again if you can get write to me and I can then connect you with the relevant people in my center. We have some very nice, we have about 100 different screens and we have animal houses, etc. So there could be a collaboration with the relevant faculty. So I'll be happy to try and connect you with the relevant faculty members in our institute.
Okay sir, thank you so much. I will get back to you soon.
डॉक्टर शाजिया जो है आजकल वाइस चांसलर हैं विमेन यूनिवर्सिटी की, और उन्होंने मेरी
जी जी
निगरानी
सर.
में PhD करी थी. शी इज माय फॉर्मर स्टूडेंट एंड शी इज बीन अ वंडरफुल
यस सर, वो आपका
साइंटिस्ट.
जी वो आपको बहुत तारीफ करती थी. शी ऑलवेज टॉक अबाउट यू.
थैंक यू.
दैट्स व्हाई आई एम रियली ऑनर्ड.
थैंक यू फॉरवर.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Question related to the topic.
Dr. Salman here from Abu Dhabi.
जी डॉक्टर सलमान.
Sir, how are you, sir? How are you?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह.
So it is one of the great opportunity that we are with you right now. मैंने आपके आदाद शुमार सारे सुने हैं और बड़े ज़बरदस्त लगे. स्पेशली मुझे कोरिया का बहुत अच्छा लगा जब आपने बताया कि उनका GDP का 5.6% जो है वो बेसिकली उसमें इन्वॉल्व एजुकेशन के लिए है. जी जी, R&D, सॉरी, R&D के लिए. और दूसरी आपने जो बहुत बड़ी अच्छी बात मुझे लगी कि उनके पास वो जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर, डिप्टी प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो है उन्होंने अपने एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर को बनाया हुआ है. तो दैट इज वेरी फंटास्टिक. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि हम इधर पाकिस्तान से जो बाहर है हम लोग, हम किस तरीके से अपना कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं, हमारा क्योंकि हम कुछ करना चाहते हैं और हमें ये हालात देख के बड़ा अफसोस होता है, तो हम कैसे इसमें जो है अपने आप को इन्वॉल्व कर सकते हैं?
इसमें 2-3 तरीके हैं। एक तरीका तो ये है कि एक नेटवर्क आप अपना एक बनाएं, और शायद बना होगा आपका
जी जी
मुख्तलिफ अपनी अपनी फील्ड का, और वो
जी जी जी
नेटवर्क जो है अगर मेरे साथ इंटरेक्ट करे, तो मैंने एक प्रोग्राम शुरू कर रखा है जिसके तहत रेगुलरली लेक्चर्स होते हैं बैनुल अक़वामी लेवल पर, और वो
जी
लाइव
जी जी
सुने जाते हैं पाकिस्तान की यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में। तो हम एक
जी
महीना
जी
पहले बता देते हैं पाकिस्तान की सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ को कि फ़लाने टाइम पर फ़लाने प्रोफेसर फ़लाने मजमून पर लेक्चर देंगे। एंड so the relevant, तो ये these are live and interactive lectures and they're given from all over the world। कोई 5,000 लेक्चर्स हो चुके हैं इस तरह, और वो फिर हम वेबसाइट पे भी डाल देते हैं ताकि जो बाहर लोग सेटल्ड हैं जैसे आप हैं और
जी
दूसरे
जी
लोग हैं, वो उनसे हमारे स्टूडेंट्स और हमारी फैकल्टी मुस्तफ़ीद हो सके। सो दिस इज़ एन ऑन गोइंग प्रोग्राम, हायर एजुकेशन नेटवर्क हमने बना रखा है जिसके तहत ये लेक्चर्स का सिलसिला चल रहा है। तो यू कुड देन सिंपली जस्ट लेट मी नो who would like to talk on which topic, and then we can arrange these lectures to be transmitted live and interactively to all the universities in Pakistan through this system। एक तो ये है सिलसिला। दूसरा, मैंने एक मूक्स बना रखे हैं, इंटीग्रेटेड वर्जन ऑफ मैसिव ओपन ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज, जैसे कि आप MIT ओपन कोर्सवेयर है, कोर्सेरा है, यूडेसिटी है, और इस तरह के बहुत सारे मूक्स अवेलेबल हैं। तो मैं खान एकेडमी है स्कूल लेवल पर, तो इन सब का एक इंटीग्रेटेड हमने मूक्स बना रखे हैं। ये उसका एड्रेस नोट कर लें, LEJ लतीफ़
जी जी जी
इब्राहिम कमाल, LEJ नंबर 4 LEJ4 लर्निंग LEARNING.com.pk, LEJ4
जी जी जी
learning.com.pk। इस पे आप जाएंगे तो आपको 73,000 फ्री कोर्सेज मिलेंगे स्कूल कॉलेज और यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल्स के। तो हम जो ये
जी जी
लेक्चर जो होते हैं ये फिर इसके अंदर इंटीग्रेट भी कर देते हैं, तो कंप्लीट कोर्सेज भी डिलीवर करते हैं, और ये कॉन्स्टेंटली ग्रो। इट्स अ फ्री एक्सेस टू ऑल लेवल्स ऑफ एजुकेशन इन ऑल डिसिप्लिन्स। इसमें एग्रीकल्चर, इंजीनियरिंग, मेडिसिन, बायोटेक्नोलॉजी, सोशल साइंस, हिस्ट्री वगैरह सब मौजूद है। खान एकेडमी के 3,500 कोर्सेज हमने उर्दू में भी ट्रांसलेट करा लिए हैं जो इसके अंदर मौजूद हैं, तो स्कूल लेवल भी कवर हो रहा है काफ़ी हद तक। तो ये इससे मुस्तफ़ीद हो सकते हैं। तो ये 2 तरीक़ेकार हैं, एक लाइव लेक्चर्स और एक इनटू दिस मूक्स को के अंदर इंटीग्रेट करके और फिर इसको एक्सपैंड करना और सबको मुस्तफ़ीद होना। तो देयर आर 2 ways in which you can contribute।
ओके ग्रेट सर। मैं आपसे बहुत ये गुजारिश करूंगा कि मुझसे आप किसी तरीके से कोऑर्डिनेट करें या राब्ता करें। मैं ऑयल एंड गैस का अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह एक्सपीरियंस रखता हूं और बहुत कुछ डिलीवर कर सकता हूं। ऑलमोस्ट 20 years of experience in Abu Dhabi oil and gas sector, so
मैं
I will be
मैं
happy
एक
for
बैनुल
that।
अक़वामी I am organizing an international conference in November this year in Dubai, and
यस
this is I and a Nobel laureate Jean-Marie Lane नाम है, फ्रांस के। हम दोनों चेयर कर रहे हैं इस कॉन्फ्रेंस को। तो नवंबर
जी
में
जी
मैं इंशाल्लाह दुबई में होऊंगा, तो उस ज़माने में वी कैन ट्राई एंड गेट टुगेदर इफ इट्स कन्वीनियंट टू डिस्कस।
यस यस ग्रेट थैंक यू। आई विल बी हैप्पी फॉर दैट।
ओके,
Thank you.
थैंक यू वेरी मच
सलाम
सर।
सर, एक
Yeah.
क्वेश्चन।
Any other question, please, related to the.
अस्सलाम
Yeah.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
वालेकुम। मैं आसिफ हूँ फ्रॉम अबू धाबी ऑल्सो,
जी जी
विद सलमान भाई। आप ये जरा प्लीज अपनी ये जो वेबसाइट आपने ये कैन यू रिपीट वन मोर टाइम प्लीज?
We have linked actually this website on our platform, and Dr. Atta Rahman has given us permission to link on our website. So we'll go to just share with everybody. It's available on our HIBA website also. Link is there, and
ओके ओके
so we'll after the presentation, just we'll show you how to go to the website and all everything is there. Just wait, please.
थैंक यू फराज भाई, थैंक यू।
Yeah.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
डॉक्टर साहब, आपसे पहली दफ़ा ही मुलाकात हो रही है, अगर चाहिए वर्चुअली है। इंशाल्लाह कभी मौका मिला तो आपकी खिदमत में हाज़िर होंगे।
जरूर
मेरा
इंशाल्लाह।
मेरा एक सवाल है, वो आई थिंक के मौजू से रिलेट ही कर रहा है कि आज से कई साल पहले माशाल्लाह ये सेहरा आपके ही सर है कि आपने पाकिस्तान में ख़ास तौर पे रिसर्च का जो ट्रेंड शुरू करवाया और यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में इजाफा हुआ। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ बन चुकी हैं और रिसर्च खास तौर पे ये जो रिसर्च पब्लिकेशन का जो सिलसिला है ये माशाल्लाह बहुत आगे जा चुका है। लेकिन इसके साथ साथ एक चीज़ ये हो रही है कि क्वालिटी थोड़ा सा कंप्रोमाइज हो रही है, बल्कि अच्छा खासा हो रही है। तो मेरा सवाल ये है कि सर अभी इस सिनेरियो में, इस करंट जो अपडेटेड सिनेरियो है, इसमें आप क्या समझते हैं कि इसमें मजीद कोई रेस्ट्रिक्शंस लाने की कोई ज़रूरत है, या क्या हम ऐसा स्टेप ले सकते हैं ताकि क्वालिटी भी कंप्रोमाइज ना हो और पब्लिकेशन और रिसर्च की तरफ हम आगे बढ़ते रहें?
जी, असल में बात यह है कि जब तक कि अच्छी फैकल्टी ना हो और फैसिलिटीज़ और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ना हो, जब तक यूनिवर्सिटीज़ को बढ़ाना, एक्सपेंड करना जो है, उससे क्वालिटी कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ हो जाती है। और पाकिस्तान में पिछले 10-15 साल में अनफॉर्चुनेटली यही हुआ है कि यूनिवर्सिटीज़ की तादाद बहुत बढ़ गई है, लेकिन वहाँ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, वहाँ फैकल्टी क्वालिफाइड नहीं है, और जिसकी वजह से क्वालिटी जो है वो उस पर काफ़ी नेगेटिव असर पड़ा है। तो मैं जिस ज़माने में था, उस ज़माने में मैंने कैबिनेट से अप्रूवल लिया था कि यूनिवर्सिटी का दर्जा जब तक किसी इदारे को नहीं दिया जाए, जब तक कि ये सारी यार्डस्टिक्स पूरी ना हो जाएं, जिसके अंदर क्वालिफाइड फैकल्टी कितनी हैं, लाइब्रेरी फैसिलिटीज़, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वगैरह वगैरह, पूरा कॉम्प्रहेंसिव, वो कैबिनेट ने वो अप्रूव कर रखा था। तो उस ज़माने में हमने बहुत से यूनिवर्सिटी कैंप, बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटी नई बनी, लेकिन साथ के साथ बहुत सारे कैंपसेस हमने बंद किए जो कि उसको मीट नहीं कर रहे थे क्राइटेरिया को। तो रैपिड एक्सपेंशन विदाउट अप्रोप्रिएट फैकल्टी, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एंड फैसिलिटीज़, उसकी वजह से ज़्यादा नुकसान होता है, फ़ायदा नहीं होता। तो आपने बिल्कुल सही फरमाया, वो कैबिनेट से मंजूर शुदा हैं और अब चाहिए उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करें हम, बल्कि और टाइट करें उसको, ताकि फर्स्ट थिंग नंबर्स जो है उसकी अहमियत बात की है। पहली अहमियत जो है वो क्वालिटी की है, और जब तक ये क्वालिटी नहीं होगी, जब तक आपको प्रोड्यूस करना स्टूडेंट्स पीएचडी वगैरह बेकार है। तो इस वजह से यू आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट, दैट इज समथिंग दैट वी शुड ऑल बी कंसर्न्ड अबाउट, that we have had a mushrooming growth of universities without adequate faculty, and these campuses सिर्फ पॉलिटिकल बेसिस पर मिनिस्टर्स आते हैं, ऐलान कर देते हैं कि यहाँ भी यूनिवर्सिटी बन रही है, पैसे देते नहीं हैं। 6 साल से द बजट ऑफ हायर एजुकेशन कमीशन इज फ्रोजन for the last 6 years at 66 billion rupees, but the number of universities is being expanded for political gain. So this is causing a huge damage to our education sector. All these campuses should be closed down, and only new universities should only be formed when the basic requirements are met in terms of faculty, infrastructure, facilities, and funding.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. This is Dr. Maqbul Hassan from Karachi. Thank you very much, Dr. Maqbul Hassan. So our topic of the presentation was here: higher education, science and technology, imperatives for socio-economic development. So this is the topic going on. Professor Dr. Atta Rahman has given a great presentation with a lot of statistics and information, technical information. Alhamdulillah. And this great session, Let's Talk HIBA, has been started in January 2025. This is the third webinar, and this will continue inshallah ta'ala, and we'll invite more great scholars. So if you have any question, please, we have a short of time. Kindly just proceed for any relevant to the topic. Actually, we have not come to the topic question. I would be very interested to know any relevant question of the related to the topic.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
सर मेरा ताल्लुक इस्लामाबाद से, पाकिस्तान से। मेरा नाम सुहेल है। तो सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जैसे दूसरे डिसिप्लिन्स के लोग होते हैं, जैसे कॉमर्स के या इंजीनियरिंग के, तो वो आपकी फील्ड में किस तरह आ सकते हैं? जैसे किसी बंदे ने ग्रेजुएशन किया हुआ कॉमर्स में या इंजीनियरिंग में, वो अगर आपकी फील्ड में आना चाहता है, या जैसे मेडिकल रिसर्च में जाना चाहता है, जैसे आपने बहुत सारा डिटेल में जिक्र किया एलन मस्क का और बहुत सारे लोगों का भी, तो फिर वो अगर उस फील्ड में जाना चाहे तो वो किस तरह कर सकता है, यानी उसका रोड मैप क्या होगा?
भाई, बात यह है कि पाकिस्तान में बदकिस्मती से ये बहुत मुश्किल है कि अगर आपने फर्स्ट कर लिए किसी एक फील्ड में, आगे जाके एमए और एमएससी कर ली, तो आप फिर स्विच होना हमारे यहाँ बहुत मुश्किल है। जबकि यूरोप में और अमेरिका में मुकाबलतन आसान होता है कि आप एडिशनल कोर्सेज लेके कर लें। तो इसकी वजह से जो एडमिशन के लिए इंटर साइंस वगैरह और दूसरी चीज़ें चाहिए होती हैं, वो बहुत ज़रूरी होता है कि आपके पास बुनियादी तालीम हो। तो यहाँ पे ज़रूरत इस बात की है कि एक फ्लेक्सिबल सिस्टम लाना ज़रूरी है हमारे तालीमी निज़ाम के अंदर, ताकि आप बहुत सारे बच्चे जो होते हैं उनको बहुत अर्ली तय करना होता है कि वो इंजीनियरिंग की तरफ जा रहे हैं या मेडिसिन की तरफ जा रहे हैं या सोशल साइंसेस, बट दे आर टू एट दैट अर्ली स्टेज उन्होंने अपने दिमाग अपने तय नहीं किए होते, और बाद में पता चलता है कि उस फील्ड में उनको दिलचस्पी नहीं है जिस फील्ड में वो चले गए हैं, और फिर स्विच ओवर करना आसान नहीं होता. So this is a very important issue that you have raised, and this needs to be addressed by HEC and our ministries of education. प्रॉब्लम ये भी है कि हमारे यहाँ 5 मिनिस्ट्रीज ऑफ एजुकेशन हैं, एक फेडरल और 4 प्रोविंशियल, और हर एक ने अपने अपने 1.5 इंच की मस्जिदें बना रखी हैं, और देर इज़ वेरी लिटिल कोहेशन एंड कोलैबोरेशन बिटवीन दम. सो दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम जो 18वीं अमेंडमेंट की वजह से पैदा हुआ है. But this is a very important issue. It should be easy for students to take additional courses and switch from one field to another, which is the international norm. हमारे यहाँ ये मुश्किल है, and this needs to be addressed.
Thank you very much.
Sir,
This good. Thank you.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you for your answer. Thank you.
जी, अभी एक आसमा साहिबा ने एक सवाल पूछा था कॉलेज एजुकेशन पे, जो अभी इसमें लिखा हुआ आया था कि ये बहुत अहम है. इस वक्त कॉलेज एजुकेशन इज कम्प्लीटली निगलेक्टेड, एंड स्कूल भी निगलेक्टेड है और कॉलेज भी निगलेक्टेड है, और इसकी वजह से आपकी बुनियाद कमज़ोर है. तो हम यूनिवर्सिटीज़ और अपने रिसर्च सेंटर्स बना रहे हैं, जब तक कि पूरी इमारत सही नहीं होगी और बुनियादें कमज़ोर होंगी तो फिर आप आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते. तो सबसे पहले तो आपके पास कोई 25 मिलियन 2.5 करोड़ बच्चे जो हैं वो आउट ऑफ स्कूल हैं. गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स की जो बुरा हाल है इस वक्त, वहाँ से स्टफ़ जो है फिर आगे जाता है कॉलेजेस में, और कॉलेजेस से जो स्टफ़ आता है वो यूनिवर्सिटी में जो क्वालिटी ऑफ स्टूडेंट बीइंग एडमिटेड आर वेरी वीक. तो दिस इज़ एन इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट दैट अस्मा साहिबा हैज़ पॉइंटेड आउट, डॉक्टर अस्मा, कि हमें पूरा होलिस्टिक अप्रोच होनी चाहिए, जिसके अंदर हम स्कूल, कॉलेज और यूनिवर्सिटी एजुकेशन को साइमल्टेनियसली देखें ताकि पूरी इमारत सही बने.
Thank you very much, Dr. Asma and Sohail Sahab and Dr. Maqbool Hassan and others who have asked the questions. So any other question relevant to the topic, please?
इसमें एक यहाँ पे एक रिक्वेस्ट आ रही है कि एलईजे का लिंक जो है आप शेयर कर दें पार्टिसिपेंट्स के साथ.
मैं वेबसाइट दिखा देता हूँ, मैं अभी
वेबसाइट दिखा दीजिए, और दूसरे ये अगर रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है तो इसकी रिकॉर्डिंग भी मुझे जरा लिंक भिजवा दीजिएगा इस रिकॉर्डिंग का प्लीज बाद में.
जी सर, जरूर सर. मैं शेयर कर देता हूँ वेबसाइट पे. By the time others can continue the question and answer.
Any questions? Anybody else?
Salman Khan sir from Abu Dhabi, kindly just take over. He's the host of the program. So let me share the website.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sahab. This is one of the wonderful opportunity जो टुडे आज हुई है. तो मैं और लोगों से भी रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि अगर किसी के पास कोई क्वेश्चन है, काजी आमिर साहब अगर कोई क्वेश्चन है आपके पास, ये ही इज चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट भी है बाय एजुकेशन, तो आपके पास कोई सवाल हो तो वो भी शेयर कर सकते हैं, और हम बाद में भी जो है इंशाल्लाह आपसे बेनिफिट्स लेंगे इस तरह. और हिबा जो है बेसिकली हिबा का बड़ा अच्छा मुझे लगा है, और इंशाल्लाह इसमें हम आगे कंटिन्यू करेंगे. एंड थैंक्स फॉर योर अराइवल डॉक्टर साहब.
शुक्रिया बहुत बहुत भाई. थैंक यू वेरी मच. इट्स अ प्लेजर टू बी हियर.
ओके, थैंक यू.
ये एक सवाल है यहाँ डॉक्टर शाहिदा साहिबा ने किया है. सॉरी, आप कुछ कह रहे हैं, फरमाइए.
पूछे सवाल से रिलेटेड इम्पोर्टेंट है सर.
जी हाँ, सवाल ये है कि कुछ मैं मैसेज देना चाहूंगा टीचर्स को. तो मेरी
जी डॉक्टर साहब, ऐसा है कि आजकल मैं पाकिस्तान भर की यूनिवर्सिटीज के लिए फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम HEC ने शुरू किया है, और इत्तफाक ऐसा है, खुशकिस्मती कि मुख्तलिफ यूनिवर्सिटीज में जाने का मौका मिलता है, कई दिन की ट्रेनिंग. तो मैं स्पेसिफिकली अपने मुल्क के साइंटिस्ट और रिसर्चर्स को बहुत वहाँ प्रमोट करती हूँ. तो आपकी तरफ से कोई नई फैकल्टी के लिए जो असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर या लेक्चर्स के लेवल के हैं, उनके लिए कोई पैगाम आप देना चाहें तो इस फोरम के थ्रू मैं उन तक जरूर पहुंचाना चाहूंगी.
जी, मैं आज यही करूंगा कि जो टीचर्स पढ़ाते हैं, एंड दिस इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर ऑल टीचर्स एट स्कूल, कॉलेज एंड यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल, तो वो अपने लेक्चर्स तो ज़रूर दें जो वो दे रहे हैं, लेकिन साथ के साथ जो ये मूक्स के ऊपर मैसिव ओपन ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज जिसमें MIT, हार्वर्ड, स्टैनफोर्ड और कॉलेज लेवल कोर्सेज और स्कूल लेवल के खान अकेडमी सारे, उनमें भी रेलेवेंट लेक्चर मटेरियल आइडेंटिफाई करके और स्टूडेंट से कहें कि उसमें से भी पढ़ के आया करें, और जब इम्तिहान लें तो न सिर्फ वो अपने लेक्चर्स के ऊपर इम्तिहान लें बल्कि इन इंटरनेशनल लेक्चर्स की बुनियाद के ऊपर भी इम्तिहान लें। इस पे क्वालिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन काफ़ी बेहतर हो सकती है, बिकॉज देन यू विल बी हैविंग अ मच लार्जर नंबर ऑफ lectures, quality lectures available in each field. तो इन इंटीग्रेटेड पर चले जाएं जो elijforlearning.com.pk मैंने बताया था, तो इसमें से वो आइडेंटिफाई करें अपने रेलेवेंट लेक्चर्स और स्टूडेंट से कहें कि ये भी पढ़कर आएं और इससे भी फिर वो इम्तिहान लें। तो इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच करें जिसके अंदर फिजिकल लेक्चर्स प्लस जो ये सारे लेक्चर्स अवेलेबल हैं इंटरनेट के ऊपर।
कुछ असाइनमेंट्स के तौर पे भी दे सकते हैं कि कुछ
बिल्कुल
असाइनमेंट ऐसे पे मार्किंग
बिल्कुल
होगी, क्योंकि स्टूडेंट तो
जी हाँ,
हमेशा नंबर जरूर पूछता है कि मार्क्स कितने मिलेंगे। तो हम कुछ वेब ये ऐसी साइट दे दें जिनमें ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम्स जो हैं वहां से कोई कोर्स का कुछ सेगमेंट, कोई यूनिट्स अटेंड करें और फिर वो शो करें। आपका ख्याल
बिल्कुल
ऐसा
एब्सोल्युटली
मुमकिन है?
इनकी बुनियाद के ऊपर असाइनमेंट दिए जा सकते हैं कि उनसे कहा जा सकता है कि ये वाला लेक्चर सुने और इसके बुनियाद पे सवाल पूछे जाएंगे आपसे, या इसकी बुनियाद पर आप एक असाइनमेंट दिया जा सकता है। तो द फैकल्टी इटसेल्फ को पहले चाहिए होगा कि वो पहले लेक्चर देखकर खुद अपने आप सुन लें, लेक्चर्स को देखें रेलेवेंस क्या है, और फिर उसके जो बेसिस पे असाइनमेंट तैयार करें और स्टूडेंट से कहें कि वो भी इसको देखें और फिर असाइनमेंट का जवाब देने की कोशिश करें।
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच डॉक्टर, थैंक यू।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम डॉक्टर साहब, एक मेरा छोटा सा क्वेश्चन और भी अगर आप परमिशन
जी
दे तो मैं पूछूं।
जी फरमाइए।
अच्छा डॉक्टर साहब, ये एक क्वेश्चन भी है और हमारे बहुत सारे टीचर्स का एक बड़ा सीवियर कंसर्न भी है कि एक टीचर है, फर्ज करें उन्होंने अपने सारा जो है वो उनका मैक्सिमम जो उनका जो कैरियर है वो कॉलेज सेक्शन में पढ़ाने में अगर फर्ज करें गुजरा है, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ वो रिसर्चर भी है, वो पीएचडी भी है और उनकी पब्लिकेशन भी है, रिसर्च वर्क भी है, मगर उनकी जो जॉब है वो कॉलेज लेवल की जॉब है और उनका कैरियर। अब वो यूनिवर्सिटी में जाना चाहते हैं तो उनका वो टोटल जो सारा के सारा एक्सपीरियंस है उसके साथ उनकी रिसर्च और पब्लिकेशन के समेत वो यूनिवर्सिटी में एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया जाता और उनको बिल्कुल मिनिमम लेवल पे जाके वो जीरो से स्टार्ट किया जाता है यूनिवर्सिटी में। ठीक है, तो ये मैं समझता हूँ कि एक बहुत बड़ी ज्यादती नहीं है ये, क्योंकि वो पेडागोजिकल अप्रोचेस वो सारी जो वो टीचिंग अप्रोचेस जो हैं जो पर्टिकुलरली पेडागोजिकल जो उसकी जो एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं और उसके जो एक्सपीरियंशियल नॉलेज है वो तो अपनी जगह उसकी पर्सनालिटी का हिस्सा होता है। उसके बावजूद यूनिवर्सिटी उसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करती है और उसको बिल्कुल जीरो लेवल पे आगे जाके उसको पोजीशन देती है, प्लेस करती है। तो मैं इस हवाले से आप क्या समझते हैं, क्या ये जस्टिफाइड है या नहीं?
बेसिकली दोनों चीज़ों की अपनी अहमियत है। क्वालिटी टीचिंग की अपनी अहमियत है और रिसर्च की अपनी अहमियत है, और दोनों को अप्रोप्रिएट वेटेजेस देनी चाहिए इन अपॉइंटमेंट्स एंड प्रमोशंस। तो जो मेरी रिकमेंडेशन रहती है वो ये कि टीचिंग जो करते हैं यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के अंदर या कॉलेजेस के अंदर, उसकी एक अनोनमस एवेल्युएशन होनी चाहिए। उसके बुनियाद पे उनको ग्रेडिंग होनी चाहिए टीचर्स की। कोई बहुत अच्छे टीचर्स होते हैं, कुछ बहुत कमज़ोर टीचर्स होते हैं, और उसको सामने रखते हुए फिर उसको तो देयर हैज़ टू बी अप्रोप्रिएट वेटेज। खाली रिसर्च काफ़ी नहीं है यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर, टीचिंग की उतनी ही अहमियत है जितनी रिसर्च की अहमियत है। आप जो दुनिया की चोटी की यूनिवर्सिटीज़ पे जाएं, जैसे मैं कैम्ब्रिज से वाबस्ता हूँ, तो नोबेल लॉरियट्स जो है अक्सर वो फर्स्ट ईयर पढ़ाते हैं ताकि बुनियादें फर्स्ट ईयर बैचलर्स के लेवल पे पढ़ाते हैं ताकि बच्चों की बुनियादें मजबूत हों। तो आई थिंक बोथ यू आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट, वी नीड टू गिव इम्पोर्टेंस टू बोथ टीचिंग एस्पेक्ट्स, लेकिन जो इम्पोर्टेंस दें उसके एक क्वालिटी, उसके एक क्राइटेरिया होने चाहिए जो कि ट्रांसपेरेंट क्राइटेरिया हो, जिसकी बुनियाद पर आप एवेल्युएट कर रहे हैं कि एक उस्ताद कितना अच्छा है या कितना कमज़ोर है।
जी डॉक्टर साहब, माशाल्लाह आपने बिल्कुल सही फरमाया। असल में इस हवाले से माशाल्लाह आप जो इन्फ्लुएंशियल पोजीशन पे हैं, मैं समझता हूँ कि वो आपसे ज़्यादा कोई भी नहीं है। तो आप तो खुद चेयरमैन भी रह चुके हैं एचएससी के, तो इस हवाले से अगर कोई चीज़ जो है वो आप आगे वो उनको कहें
जी
कि
ज़रूर।
हमारी का बहुत बड़ा कंसर्न है ये। और
जी जी आई
ये
अंडरस्टैंड।
तो बहुत शुक्रिया सर आपका।
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, please. Just one more question, please. So we are short of time. We are over. So
अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी।
वालेकुम
मैं
सलाम।
जी डॉक्टर मिसबा बात कर रहा हूँ मैं। और
जी मिसबा साहब।
जी मैं हाँ यहाँ कनाडा से बात कर रहा हूँ मैं। और डॉक्टर साहब एक चीज़ ये सामने आई है कि ये जो जिस तरीके से इनका जो ये एआई टूल्स का इमरजेंस हुआ है, तो जैसे कि फितरी तौर पर लोग जो है उस तरफ जाना चाहते हैं अपने असाइनमेंट्स वगैरह के अंदर, उनको बहुत कन्वीनियंस महसूस होता है। तो आप इन्हें किस तरीके से इसको हम यानी कि इसको बिल्कुल हम आइसोलेट भी नहीं कर सकते इन टूल्स को, और इनके ऊपर फुल्ली स्टूडेंट को छोड़ भी नहीं सकते। तो इसके लिए क्या ऐसी अप्रोच आप सजेस्ट करेंगे कि जो है तलबा जो है इसको फायदा भी उठाए, लेकिन उनके अंदर की जो क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग है या वो लर्निंग है वो भी अपनी जगह बरकरार रहे? तो ऐसा क्या वे आउट हो सकता है?
thank you, Dr.
जी
Misbah. Very good question. Thank you very much.
एक्सक्यूज मी, एक्सक्यूज मी, माफ करिएगा जी। ये बहुत अहम सवाल किया है आपने। और ये चैट जीपीटी और डीप फेक और बहुत सारे और भी टूल्स आ गए हैं अब जो इस्तेमाल हो रहे हैं। और फिर रिसर्च टूल्स बहुत सारे ऐसे आ गए हैं जिससे आप रेफरेंसेस ऑटोमेटिकली अरेंज कर सकते हैं और बहुत सारी चीज़ें कर सकते हैं। इस पर मैंने कई आर्टिकल्स भी लिखे हैं। तो ये दो धारी तलवार है। एक तरफ तो यू कैन हैव फेक असाइनमेंट्स एंड फेक रिसर्च पब्लिकेशंस प्रिपेयर्ड, और उसको दैट इज द नेगेटिव साइड ऑफ आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस। और उसको पकड़ने के लिए भी टूल्स अब आ गए हैं जो फेक आर्टिफिशियली क्रिएटेड, जिनमें जहाँ जेन्युइन रिसर्च नहीं हुई बल्कि आर्टिफिशियली डेटा बनाया गया है, उसको पकड़ने के लिए भी टूल्स मौजूद हैं। जो इंटरनेशनल पब्लिशिंग हाउसेस हैं, ऑल मेजर इंटरनेशनल, वो एआई को इस्तेमाल करने की इजाज़त देते हैं कि आप आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को आप इस्तेमाल करें लैंग्वेज इम्प्रूवमेंट में, बुनियादी गलतियां दूर करने में। लेकिन जो क्रिएटिविटी जो है अपनी जगह पे रहनी चाहिए, ताकि जो जेन्युइन रिसर्च है वो फेक रिसर्च में तब्दील ना हो जाए और गलत चीज़ें, खाली पहली चीज़ें लेके और फेक आर्टिकल जो हैं वो पब्लिश ना होने जाएं। So AI is now available. It is there. It is a fact of life. We need to use it. We need to train students to use it. But at the same time, हमें चाहिए कि हम इसका एहतियात करें कि इसका गलत इस्तेमाल ना हो। ये आसानी से गलत इस्तेमाल भी हो सकता है। तो वी नीड टू बी केयरफुल। और इसको गलत इस्तेमाल को रोकने के लिए अब बहुत सारे टूल्स भी अवेलेबल हैं जो कि इंटरनेशनली अवेलेबल है। और इस पे मैंने 2-3 आर्टिकल लिख चुका हूँ मैं इसके ऊपर द न्यूज़ में।
Thank you very much.
Hello.
जी हेलो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
Qazi Aamir, walaikum salam. Dr. Saab, it was nice session, I think. And my name is Qazi Aamir. Actually, I was having some problem in listening. I think my connection was not good. So I have only one. It's not a question. I just want to know from you, because you told that you have some seminar or symposium here in UAE. So as an active member of ICAP UAE chapter, right? If I want to invite you in some of our seminars, and because this chapter is very active nowadays, right? And I'm also a member of that. So how can I contact you?
मेरा ईमेल एड्रेस चाहे आप नोट कर लें। इस वक्त I'll be happy to share it.
We can coordinate all the information to arrange the session in different places. So don't worry, we'll coordinate. Thank you very much.
तो आप इनसे ले लीजिएगा फिर आप, and then you can write to me and I'll be happy to.
If you want to get the session from Dr. Atta, Rahman or other, we have a lot of scholars. Alhamdulillah, we're coordinating with all the institutions to arrange the sessions. So please don't just coordinate the HIBA program manager. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So just I was to show you the HIBA website. This is only the very small. Actually, we have made a very short, small link, 101cmc.com. So just always remember this link. You don't have to find a lot of information you to find on this website, and there are a lot of projects also going on this website. So this is a common website for a lot of projects. So just you have to remember this common word, the letter, the link 101 www.101cmc.com/HIBA. So this is the website of the HIBA, and then here, if you want to learn something, what Dr. Atta Rahman was mentioning, so what we have done, we have linked to here our website here. You can go see here on the top, visit school. So you come on this website and click on visit school. If you want to join any program, so you have to just click on join on Zoom. So you don't have to always find the link. Where is the link for the meeting? We have given a very simple solution here. Just always, whenever you want to attend any of our meeting, just come on the website and just click on join on Zoom and enter the passcode HIBA in a small caps. So this is very simple way we have made to link to join our meetings and get all the resources from our website. So here, when you want to go learn something, what Dr. Atta Rahman was mentioning, you just click on visit his school. Okay, we have integrated his program on our website. This is a special gift from Dr. Atta Rahman. You can find here. And this is our Ontario Learning Center small page. So we are making only small page, not big websites. So simple websites we are making. So here you will start here, start learning. So it is mentioned here, free training or gift of Professor Dr. Atta Rahman, FRS is already mentioned here. And so you just click on start learning, and very easily you are going to reach his website. And thousands of videos and various topics are here. Great knowledge he has compiled from various sources or from various universities, various platforms. And I was mentioning Professor Dr. Atta Rahman in 2018, we started the same project, and we actually hired a consultant from Dubai, and we spent thousands of dollars, and he left the project in between, so we couldn't complete that project. And now, Alhamdulillah, Professor Dr. Rahman has given this great resource for learning for his gift to the people of Pakistan and to the whole world, Muslim world. And he has generated and continuously adding the courses and the learning programs here, and thousands of videos and topics are here. So all are welcome to learn and enjoy and share this information from your colleagues and other people. Okay.
ये आपकी जितने प्रोग्राम है उसकी रिकॉर्डिंग भी इसी पेज पे है, उनकी लिंक्स रिकॉर्डिंग के?
जी, we always we are sharing always after the meeting, we are always sharing the recordings. Okay, so we're going to share this also, inshallah. Okay, so just come on the HIBA website, and you'll find a lot of information from our HIBA website, and we are keep on enhancing also, we are keep on working also. And thank you very much for joining. So today's topic was there from Professor Dr. Atta Rahman. It's a great topic. So Salman Khan was the host of this program, and we have our panelist from Dubai, and our one panelist, Dr. Asif Qureshi in Canada. Actually, he went to the hospital for a blood test, so he couldn't join. And Dr. Amina Murad, she's in UK. Actually, she's traveling, so she also was ready to join here. And then we have one panelist from Abu Dhabi. Just Qazi Aamir was here. He's a chartered accountant. He's a HIBA consultant in Abu Dhabi. And Engineer Salman Khan is also a HIBA consultant in Abu Dhabi. So thank you very much for everybody joined. Summaiya was here as a moderator. So Summaiya, thank you very much for joining and giving the introduction of Professor Dr. Atta Rahman. Thank you very much. So
Shukriya, Assalamu alaikum, fi amanillah, Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, wa alaikum assalam.
Thank you very much for everybody. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Javed. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.